So we have our piece of electronics ready, and now we need to inject some logic into it so that it does something useful.
Okay.
The plan is to basically write some code that will that we're going to do on this computer, and then thanks to this cable here, which is connected to the computer, we're going to connect the cable to the. We're going to connect the cable to this piece, and our program is going to be transferred there. And then this is going to be able to execute anything we have written in the code.
Okay, great.
So what kind of code do we want to write? As you see, this is a website that provides free information on the air quality all over the world.
Okay.
So here we have zoomed on the Rhône-Alpes, Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes region in France, which is in the southeast. And you see that each pin is, or each tag is an air quality measurement station.
Okay.
So we see that we can actually choose many locations to where we would measure the air quality. And since we are at the BBA of EMU at Saint-Étienne, I suggest we just retrieve the air quality at Saint-Étienne.
Great.
So as a human, we see the map and we see the air quality, right? How does a computer access that? Well, actually, this website, waqi.info, has what is called an API. So here I just shifted the tab to the same website, except that you see before there is an API dot. An API is typically a way for a website to provide its data to computers, not humans.
Okay.
So as you see, this address is made of several parts. The website itself, then a part that says, well, if you want to perform a search, and then there is something that says token. A token is, this very long and ugly string of characters. This is a kind of password. Okay. If you want to use their website, you have to ask them before
the password.
The password, and they give it to you, and then you have to include the password in every time you write that. So a token, a kind of password, and a keyword, and the keyword is very simple. It's where do you want?
The city you want.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. So here, Saint-Étienne. So it's for computers, but it's fun because you can, as a human, you can read what it will return. So I just click on Enter. That's what's going to be sent to the computer.
Okay.
You see? It says first, okay, what you asked for is, you didn't make any mistake, the token is good and stuff. And then it gives you actually 3 measurement stations, because I asked Saint-Étienne, but it said I have Saint-Étienne Sud, South, Saint-Étienne North, and Saint-Étienne near a national road near Saint-Étienne. And for each of them, it gives you an AQI, Air Quality Index.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great, right? And then the time of the measurement, the time expressed in another format, and the longitude and latitude.
Okay, great.
That's great, right? So basically, we're going to write code that will connect to the Wi-Fi, right?
Okay.
Then once it's connected to the Wi-Fi, it's going to connect to here.
Okay.
It will receive this information. And then, I don't know if you remember, we had this JSON library that we installed. I told you it would help us manipulate text. Because basically, when you receive all of that, I mean, we don't care. We just need, just that.
Yeah.
And how do you extract 3.0? How do you instruct the computer to say, that's just this value I want in this whole list?
So I guess you just give the name and you just give the...
Yeah, well, exactly. You say, go just in data, then go in 0, and then go and then give me the value of AQI.
Okay.
And the JSON library is something that helps you actually do that.
Find the
Exactly.
information.
Exactly. So let's do that. The way we're going to proceed is that I have the code already written, and I'm going to pass it into the program block by block, and I will describe the function of each block.
First to understand.
Yeah. So it assumes that you have a basic knowledge of programming, basically what a variable is and what a method is. If you don't have this knowledge, it's not included in this course, but I include in the course material a lot of tutorials on YouTube and other very good places where you can learn these basics.
Okay, great.
Right? So let's start. A sketch, so a program for Arduino, for stuff like that or these things, has always the same structure. It starts at the beginning with a list of libraries that you're going to need. So if you remember, we installed a library to manage a screen, actually 2 libraries for the screen, a library for
the text.
So that's where we're going to list these libraries so that the program knows they should be used. Here we also add a couple of variables, like what is the name of the Wi-Fi network where it should connect?
Okay.
What's the password for the Wi-Fi network? We're going to add also the location. Saint-Étienne, that's where we want. In the setup, so let's do that actually. Let's list these things. So, yeah. So let me make that bigger. So that's what I told you, right? We start by saying ESP82 is the Federhusa model. Software serial is something that will enable us to have information displayed on screen. But basically, all of that is just setup, right?
Okay.
You just need these things for the program to work.
Okay.
Where the program really starts is at these lines. Here we declare 2 variables, which are simply the names of the name of my Wi-Fi and my password.
Okay.
So it's not my home password. If you go next to my home, you won't. It's just my phone. And then the location where we want the air quality index.
Okay.
So Saint-Étienne, but here, of course, here as a participant to this course, feel free to change for your own Wi-Fi and your own location. It's not just for France, it's all over the world, right? Then we need to initialize a variable that will help the board communicate with the screen.
Okay.
You recognize OLED, which is a LED screen. We initialize a variable that will enable the board to connect to Wi-Fi. So all of that is just initialization, like setup. We have further setup there, and I'm going to add the block now. It's there. Okay, so I've just added things inside the setup method. So whatever is inside these curly braces, this one and this one, is going to be executed just once. I mean, when you power up your...
it's going to be...
executed once and then just once. So again, it's very much initialization stuff and setup. For example, it says start communicating with this computer. Okay, so this is useful if you have the cable on, right?
Okay.
If you have no cable, you could delete that. You could delete all of that. Let me scroll there. Initialize the screen, right? Init, initialize. The screen is actually great. You can have a level of battery displayed. The battery that is left. We don't care, so false. We initialize the Wi-Fi connection. So SSID, it's exactly, it's what we have
Just
Yeah, that's what we had here. Password, this one. So now it's ready to use the Wi-Fi. And it starts trying to connect. And this loop just says, keep trying connecting to the Wi-Fi. As long as you are not
connected.
the exclamation mark is not. As long as you are not connected, keep trying, you know. And when it's there, it means we have everything set up. We can finally start working on the logic of the code. And that's what I'm going to add. So first, so we are in the loop now. The first two lines are, well, actually very simple. We start by cleaning the screen. We delete anything that was previously written on it. So that's pretty simple. The second thing we're going to add is that. It's a bit mysterious. First, we connect to the website. You remember the
Reiki, yeah.
this website here? We connect to it and we retrieve the
location.
air quality for this location.
Okay.
And then when we have it, this second stuff reads on this very long list of information, it reads just the one we want, the AQI
Great.
of the first station it finds, because we have several stations. And once it has found it, so it's the result is stored in this variable, so it should be 30 when it's there. Then we simply display it on screen. And this is done with the rest of the code, which says print the print the message air quality.
So that we can see it.
Well, actually, no. Here it's just print the text which says air quality on the first line.
Okay.
And then on the second line it says air quality at
And then
location.
location.
And
Okay.
location is for us, that's what we had written here.
Saint-Étienne.
It's Saint-Étienne, right here. And then add a semicolon. And then on the line below, write what this air quality is, AQI, because we received it here. And once you have done that, actually refresh the quality display, but that's really refresh the screen to show that. And then wait 5 seconds before doing it all over again. So every 5 seconds,
Be sure it's updated.
yeah, it's gonna get again the same quality index and
Okay.
show it again. So the mystery here, so we are almost done. The only mystery is that is here. Call AQI and read the AQI response. I mean, that's not the software that knows how to do that. I have to instruct the software how to do that.
Okay.
And the way to do that is more code. So I'm going to add a tab. Because you know you can have several files. That's one file, and I'm going to add a
Then you
second
can have
file.
second, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to call it call AQI. You see it's here. It's empty.
Yeah.
But I'm going to add some code. If I can find it, where is my code? Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So the first thing we're gonna add is call AQI. It's a method. So if you see that, call AQI, that's exactly this one.
Okay.
So when we had written call AQI, it means
It refers to the other.
yeah, like execute everything which is between these curly braces and these
Okay.
ones.
Okay.
And that's where I put the token. You remember the password?
Yeah.
I say the address.
Where you find information.
This one is complicated, but it says, that's the web address where it should connect. You remember
Okay.
search token from here?
Yeah.
From here.
Yeah, okay.
Then it connects. Well, the step to connect is actually quite long. You need to write all of that. So that's typically something you don't know by heart,
Okay.
right? This is from tutorials you find online. And at the end of these curly braces, the connection to the website is made. You have received that.
Okay.
Now it remains to actually read it. And that's what we do with the second part of this file. And we are almost done. Read AQI response. So let me refer. That's what we do here.
Okay. And it gives the
Remember?
answer. Okay.
Yeah, and it will return the number. So the client which was here is connected to there. So while the connection is available, retrieve all of that, right, in a line, a variable called a line. And what I do is, because it sends back many lines, not just the one here, but the one we are interested is in the many lines returned. We are only interested in this
By
one.
one, yeah.
So to filter out all the others and keep only this one, I say if the line does not contain the word data, continue, because data is here.
Okay.
So it will skip all the other lines,
Okay.
like parameters and other things we don't
just
care
find
about.
data and then just the 0 and then just.
Then exactly, keep this line, and then finally use the library, the JSON library, parse the line. It means try to find a structure in it. There is data, inside there is 0, inside there is AQI. And that's what we want. In the line,
Perfect.
find the data. It's like, Russian dolls, things inside the other.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we do. The root is the whole document. That's the biggest doll. Inside the root, find the data sub-doll. Inside the data sub-doll, it has
Find the 0.
because you're 0, 1, 2. I just want the first one.
And after that, the 8.
And after 1, in 0, I just want AQI.
Good.
And put it in AQI value.
In
Return it.
On the screen, okay.
Exactly. Return it here and display it on screen.
Perfect.
So if you don't know how to code, it's really complicated, but again, with a basic knowledge of code, this is nothing involved, right? You need to know what a variable is, what a method is, and then you are able to read and even write by yourself such a code. So we're done. Now what we would like to do is send that
To the machine.
to the machine. So we use a cable which is plugged on the Mac. It could be a PC, of course. And we plug it to...
On the other side.
Oh yeah, I'm always mistaken. Yeah. So we plug it, and then on the Arduino software, there is a special button to say send. So it's this one.
Okay.
They call it upload.
And they just do it like...
Before you upload, you see you should save your sketch. If you have not saved it, well, I just save it with the default name. So as you see, it's kind of useful. They tell you if you have a mistake in your code, they flag it in red so that you know that on this special line something is wrong. So
it's quite...
yeah, you know where to start searching for errors. So we have some message in reds, but they are not errors. I think they are just warnings. And when you have these little dots appearing, it means that it found no mistake in your code and it's starting sending it to the machine.
Okay.
So that's at this point you are just very happy that things seem to work. So 100%. So now what we should start seeing is, well, we see nothing at the moment. Yes.
Yeah.
So the connection has been made. and it displays what we asked it, which is, well, we have written that here, air quality in the first line, and then at, well, Saint-Étienne, but maybe the participants in this course will choose something else. And then the measure itself, which is 24. So according to you, 24, is it good or bad?
I think it's quite good, actually.
Yeah, I think it's very green. Saint-Étienne has a very good air
Contrary
quality.
to China or
Or other
countries like this.
polluted areas. 24 is actually very, very good. So that's it. In the next steps, we're going to discover the broader relevance of what we've just done. That's basically an example of what IoT consists in. What is important to understand is how does it apply to a wider context in industries and in the production of new goods.
It can be bigger and it can be more powerful.
Yeah, the difficulty then is, or the challenge is to find new services, new usage. How do you use it for? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Well, cool. You're welcome. So we are finished now for this part of the course. We know how to build such a connected object. We know how to connect it to the Wi-Fi and to the internet, and how to code the logic of it.
Okay.
Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you for your participation.
Thank you.